On one of your students, because I am just ripping, and I am on.
Right.
You've got to be done.
Yeah.
And I come home and I'm still like that. And he goes, okay.
Do you remember the Saturday Night Live character that did Simadonna? Do you remember this?
Yes, I do.
Sima.
That's not coming back.
I'm thinking that to myself all the time because I mean, with the version of me you see now is one who for years has been being told, dude, too intense, because I am very intense, and when I get into this zone, I get very, very intense.
Yeah, you take a picture.
Oh, is that from the Instagram thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Mr. Intense.
Oh, that's a great one.
That's
Oh, that's awesome. That's from today. Yeah, nice.
Nice.
Well, I learned. Okay, so for me, I'll tell you my own journey with this.
Yeah.
So I would approach something like this before. I'm trying to go back to the way I used to think about this. Okay, so I would approach something like this, like, man, I need to be on, need to be together, be prepared, and I need to deliver. I need to be authoritative because I don't want there to be any doubt about anything I'm saying. I don't want anybody to doubt that I'm the alpha male in the room. And I'm just telling you, I'm just confessing that. So what I learned over time is from my natural being, people accept that when I walk in. Just I'm usually bigger than everybody else through whatever has happened in my life. When I walk into a room, people look at me and they expect command. That's what they expect. They also, my smile is a big asset for me. So I need to smile more. I need to do more self-deprecating stuff because if I don't do that, then I come across again as this imperial person who is always right and never wrong. But if I confess that I screw up too, I'm just here telling you, I'm somebody who's walked up the mountain, I've skimmed my knees, I'm telling you where to walk.
Sure.
That's a different being that I've got to be in control, right? Which is the way I used to think about it. So relaxing and letting it be, and take this if you want it. If you don't want it, I totally understand. We'll have some marshmallows. It's that same kind of mental purchase, right? All right, let's get into some tools because we're already at 12:30. Where did my toolbox go? Yeah, here we are. I didn't maximize that already, did I? All right, so the point of the toolbox, I'm not going to be giving you a lot of tools today. We can get into some deeper stuff. If we get all the way through this and you already use all this stuff and you're like, oh, this is boring, we can get into some deeper stuff. But I intentionally am not giving you too much because you can easily get overwhelmed.
You know what? I gotta get out of here, but
cool. I'll get you the video.
Thank you.
You left early last time too. My feelings are a little bit hurt.
Man, I tell you, disrespect is terrible.
Thanks so much.
I appreciate you so much.
Hey,
this has
I
been great
appreciate that.
information.
Awesome.
And we'll be in touch.
We'll get together.
Yeah,
Probably
absolutely.
after Thanksgiving.
Good luck,
Great.
Grace.
Such a
Nice to
pleasure
meet you,
to
Crystal.
spend these 3 sessions.
Have fun at work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will exactly. I have to run back there and
Oh yeah.
get to.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Good
that.
luck.
Absolutely. It's almost infinite the number of tools that are out there. I mean, you could literally spend a month just investigating email marketing tools and not exhaust everything that's out there and what it'll do for you. So you have to really horse blind yourself and go, for the next 6 months, we're going to vet email marketing tools and we're going to figure out which one we want to use and just do that one thing. Now, another way to do that that's more trial and error is just commit to one. Don't think about any other one and try to do all the stuff that you want to do for the next year. You're going to have to do that anyway, so that might be a more effective way to do it for you. And we'll talk about email marketing in a minute. The first thing I want to start with is Gmail. Gmail is a very powerful tool for small business owners. And along with that, you don't have a Gmail address. Have a at your url.com. So you don't want to have, what's your dance company name?
Dance Associates Austin.
Dance Associates Austin?
Inc.
Ugh, we get rid of the ink. Ink doesn't matter to anybody. It matters to small business owners, but it doesn't matter to the people.
Okay.
So get rid of the ink. Let me ask you a personal question.
Put on there if you're a corporation.
I've never heard that.
No.
Well, when you think about that, probably 90% of anybody who has a single employee is incorporated. I would say larger businesses are always incorporated in some form, and very few of them have ink on it.
Okay.
It's always small people who have ink on their
Does it
business.
have ink on it on Gmail?
So I want to ask you a personal question, because there are not a lot of people in here now, and it's mainly you're 2/3 of the audience. How married are you to that name?
Yeah.
Associates is a very dispassionate name. Kids Dance Austin, all the way to the other end of the scale.
We have talked about that.
Not married.
I would strongly consider it. Like point A before you do anything else. Think about rebranding, because Associates isn't even going to vibe with
Yeah, we
parents,
have.
much less kids.
Yeah, we have.
There's a process you need to go through. Don't decide on the name before you know if you can have it.
Yeah.
I don't mean just have the name. I mean, you need to have all the social profiles,
Own it.
all of the hashtags. It all has to work for you, because that's where you want to spend the money. Because if you don't, you're going to spend money down the line paying somebody to climb that hill for you. And it's very expensive, a lot more expensive than getting branding consulting. Okay. So you want to be at your name at url.com. No space. I hate typos. Is much more professional than at gmail.com. But you can connect. You can connect your email to the Gmail platform. Does that make sense? So you're going to be looking at a Gmail screen, but your email is still at your URL. I'll show you an example real quick.
Yeah, we have to have an example. I don't know what we're talking about.
So
Yeah,
you know
I
what?
understand that.
If we do all that, because we've been doing what we've been doing for a while, are people going to still recognize and know who we are? They're going to say, "Oh, there's another dance company in Austin."
You mean, are you saying that if you have Gmail on there, will that be make
Or
them not
change
recognize you?
it and or our
We
name
rebrand.
if we rebrand.
Well, you can't fear that. You have to believe. Well, what I'm saying here is you can't make that decision out of fear. You can't fear, I don't want to have this happen. You can don't do things for the rest of your life and it doesn't get you nowhere. Let me complete this thought real fast. So what you have to decide for yourself is Dance Associates a good name to teach children how to dance? I believe the fundamental firm answer to that is no.
Right.
Without any doubt.
Okay.
So then the next statement is we need to rebrand.
Right.
That what you just asked me then has no bearing.
Uh-huh.
Now, what you can do is you can take all these links, you can leave all these links intact online. So if you're concerned about search,
Yes.
you can do what's called 301 redirect. And when some people go, oh, there was Dance Associates that taught kids. I taught my 7-year-old, but she's 17 now. But I just had a kid. Now my kid's 7. I want to go find them. Here's the card. I'm going to go to this link. Then it'll 301 into your current site.
We bring everybody that we ever do.
Right. Plus, just do a massive rebrand campaign and just punch it out on social media like nobody's business. Bathe
Okay.
the Austin social scene, social media universe.
First time on social media effort.
Yeah, because it's not like it's not like we're starting. Well, look, it is. I guess like we're starting all over.
No,
again.
you don't have to
Well,
start all over again.
Well, not, but
The rebrand, you mean?
You don't have to start all over
no. But I mean,
again. Everybody who knows you with that one gets redirected. That's the way
Right.
to do it.
For us,
I-
we've never
I would
social
agree
media,
with
so we'd be fine.
Yeah. Well, you're going to get a huge punch, and it's really great that you're not having to rebrand on social media because now you're not having to reclimb that hill.
yeah. Okay.
So that is
First,
good. But, and I don't mean to be too blunt with that, but that's a really great example of if you find yourself going, well, I don't want this to happen, that's the wrong thinking. What do you want to have happen, and can you get there? So if strategically we're a bunch of generals, and you see that kind of butte out there, the kind of the one hill that kind of stands up in the middle, and it's right in the middle pretty much of out there. If I'm saying, if I want to go to that hill, but I spent this whole time going, I don't want to go to that hill. See that hill over there? I don't want to go to that one either.
Uh-huh.
See that building? I don't want to go to that building. See this highway out here? I don't want to go to that highway. You see what I mean?
A lot of time.
Right. It doesn't get you any closer to your objective. Your objective is that hill. How do we get there? Now, a better question for you. We want to be not only be the preeminent dance company in Austin for children, We want to be known as the preeminent dance company in Austin for children. How do we get there? That's the hill you want to climb. Now, if you are hyper local in any sense, then you really don't want to be the preeminent company in Dallas. I'll give you a good example as a client of mine who's an urgent care clinic. When they first branded, they branded as urgent care in Austin because when they started, there weren't a lot of urgent care clinics.
No.
Now they're everywhere. So they've got a branding problem and they don't want to rebrand. Now I understand why they don't. And it's a bigger deal for medical than it is for small business owner typical like us. Medical's a bigger deal and it's getting to be a more bigger deal. So, but if we just said they were a donut shop and they were the first donut shop in town, let's change it to that. They were the first donut shop in Austin, so Austin Donuts, but they're in Cedar Park. That's a problem once there get to be a lot more donut shops because then now they're really Cedar Park donuts. But now their shipping business has shut down. Nobody's going to buy donuts shipped from Cedar Park all the way to South Austin when there's a donut shop right there. I'm not going to pay $35 extra for donuts now, right? So I'm hyper local. I'm limited to a demographic area. So if you have a demographic limit to your area, then you have to balance between, again, you have all these arcs, right? The arc all the way up is I serve all of Austin. The arc all the way down is I serve one block of Circle C. That's the smallest hyperlocal. You're probably not that limited, but you probably don't serve all of Austin. Or do you?
We can.
But do you want to?
No.
That-
Okay. So you have to figure out what you want. You want 10 schools? You want 15? Okay. So that's a tactical representation of your strategy.
You're right.
Tactically, we want to sign 15 schools and we want to be fully booked with those schools. That's the most efficient thing for us. How are we going to get there?
Thank you for saying.
Sure.
I was
Absolutely.
thinking that on the way over here.
Yeah. Well, you have to have a clear picture. So strategically, you start with this, you go as high up the mountain as you can as far as, I want to get to that hill over there. How are we going to do it? Well, halfway over there, we might find out there's a canyon in between us. Now we have to change tactics. Our strategy is the same. I want to climb that hill.
Right.
That's how you're thinking. So, but you got to get as clear a picture of that as possible. So, throughout time, World War II was the first time sonar was used. And I don't know if you remember, if you ever watch old war stuff, I always wondered why in World War I and early World War II, they had those stripes and stuff painted on the ships. You remember that? You ever see that?
Yeah.
Do you know why they got rid of them?
It was I don't know why they got rid of it. They put it on for camouflage.
Right. But why did camouflage no longer matter?
They were
Sonar.
radar or sonar. I think.
If I can see you from 500 miles, what does it matter if I can't see you from 500 feet? Yeah, that's what happened. And so optics are a big deal. So this is what you pay money for. So you and her might sit here today and go, we want to go to that hill. But if I could pay a consultant $500 to come in and go, oh yeah, you don't want to go left because there's a chasm over there, then that might have looked like the clearest route. And you pay all the money it takes you to get and go that way, only to find out you have to double all the way back here and go back around there.
Sure.
That's what consultants do for you.
Sure.
So you're still going to benefit, even if you don't hire a consultant, you're going to benefit from the exercise of thinking strategically. We want to go there. How do we get there? Right? So that's always a great place to be. You never lose money thinking strategically. Now, if you're not a good tactical fulfiller, which I suspect you are, then that you hire that. So if you're a good strategic thinker, you hire tactical. If you're a good tactical thinker, you hire strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tools, these are almost all tactical. Okay. Almost all tools you ever are going to use are tactical. Number one, because you're probably not going to have the expertise to use a strategic tool anyway. You don't need to know that. That's a skill you don't need to learn how to use.
No.
Because then you're going to be in that business. If you learn what people like me know, then why are you even in your business anymore, right? So let's get back to email and talk about email real fast. At yoururl.com is so much more. It's one of the most common things I see in networking. Is people hand me a card and have a Gmail address on it. And they're like, yeah, because I've used this email address for a long time. Who's that about? Is that about the prospect or is that about them?
It's about Gmail.
No, that's about them. They're making that decision to have Gmail because it's easier for them. It's better for them.
Right.
And they feel like it's better for their customer, but it's really not.
Ah.
Right. They feel like it's better for their customer because their customers have been seeing this Gmail address for a long time. They think there's some value in that Gmail. There's no value in it. The only value is devalue because it makes you look unprofessional, not you, but the generator.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you get all of Google's powerful tools. There's just an entire pile of tools that come with Google. And even now, I think you have to pay as an enterprise now, but it's $5 per user per month. That is dirt cheap to get. You get all of Google Docs. You get all the storage. I think it comes at the first level like 15 gigs of storage. You get all of the integratability of Google Docs that comes with it. And then it's all tied to your URL. You know, it all has that attachment to it. So, I mean, and then Gmail has labs and there's great little tools. I'll show you one here in just a second. But if you go to labs in Gmail, there's all this stuff that your email will do that is awesome. It's brilliant. I've got this in here, but I'll say it again. You go to settings, then the labs, and you scroll and experiment. Just keep attaching stuff to your email and see if you like it. If you don't, then all you do is disable it. It's like a plugin on WordPress. Boomerang. Second to email, I think this is the most valuable tool I've ever seen, honestly. What Boomerang does is it does two things. Number one, it gets stuff out of your email inbox. Because I can say, tell me your first name. Ramona. Okay. So Ramona, you and I email, and you say, I want to hire you for a consultation, but not till January.
Mm-hmm.
What Boomerang does is I can go, okay, Ramona, I'm going to set an appointment for January 1st. You and I are going to talk. Let's say January the 10th is a better example. January the 3rd, I'm going to Boomerang this email to come back into my inbox on January the 3rd. because it's going to remind me of the conversation. And then on the appointment, I will have a 7-day reminder that 7 days from now we're going to talk. So it'll refresh it all in my mind, so I'm ready on the 10th. See? But another thing it does is you can just have a default setting to every time you send an email, you can say, put this back in my email inbox if nobody answers this. If there's no reply, yes,
like
it's beautiful.
Oh, wow.
But there's also another function, send later, which I love because a lot of times I'm working late at night. Now you may not.
You don't
But-
wake anybody up with their phone.
Well, no, it's not just that, but it's also I don't want. To me, it's a little less professional to see emails coming out at 2 a.m. It's just a perception thing. So I want them to go out at 8. So I set them at 8, 8:15,
Oh,
9.
you send it.
You send it
tell
later.
them,
You set it up
Yes.
and it comes
Ah.
up
Yeah.
a little
Yep.
system for you.
Right. There's just a little button down at the bottom of email. I'll show it to you real fast. Oh, yeah, I never did show you the thing I was going to show you. If I showed you what I showed you, then I would show you. I'm not redundant at all.
You're probably really good with those cups and
Yeah. All right. So can you see this at all? Yeah. So you can see this is my URL email. So one of the nice things about it is it comes with a chat feature built into it, and Google Hangouts is built into it, so you can do video calls with people. Google Hangouts is not always the most stable platform for video calls, but it does work, and it's free. It comes with it. That's what I mean.
I like free.
The tools that come with Gmail are just incredible.
they're free right now. I doubt they're going to stay free.
Well, I don't know if they're free for businesses anymore. So if you sign up with an enterprise URL, which you have to for a website, I think it's like $5 a month, but still $60 a year. It's barely able to be called a cost. Let's see. I'm going to compose and I'll show you. Okay, so you can see here I've got send later, and then this little check mark. So Bill, for an example, let's send you an email. Bill Hawkins. Yeah, here you are. Stuff is good. Now I'm going to send this. I'm going to say boomerang this in 2 days if no reply. Now I can set this for whenever I want, but it defaults to 2 days. So I can, when I do this, it pops up and this calendar option comes up. Now I can choose whenever. I can boomerang this whenever I want to. I can also set the qualifier. If no reply, if it's not clicked, so if somebody opens it, but they don't click on a link in it, if it's not opened, regardless. So most of the time I'm boomeranging regardless.
Yeah.
But like for my guys that work for me, I'll click and I'll say, if it doesn't have a reply in 2 days, then you need to email me back. Everybody gets busy, I understand, but it reminds me and keeps things flowing, okay? But then you've got
It's an
send later.
extension of you.
Yes. You've got send later right here. And this works the same way. I can just choose the date and time that I want to send it. But if I do a lot of stuff and I push it out 2 weeks, it's at all these presets: 2 days, 4 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, a month. Monday 9 a.m. Monday 9 a.m. is a big thing for me because if it's like today, when I go home today, I know tomorrow's the Friday. This is typical, not because it's Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's different. I know that tomorrow's Friday. Not a lot of people are real present on Fridays. And so if it's not critical, I push it out to Monday. Or I do the same thing for myself. I know Fridays I'm wrapping up the week. I've got a mastermind meeting tomorrow and then a major meeting tomorrow. So that means about 4 hours of my day are already gone tomorrow. So I know anything coming in today, somebody wants a decision, I'm going to say, hey, let's talk about it Monday. I put a pin in it, put it out Monday 9 a.m. That means when I get up, start my day on Monday, I've got this stuff that comes in from last week, and I just pick up right where I left off. It's beautiful. I love it. So Boomerang is incredible. It just makes it enables you to get everything out of your inbox. You don't have to leave stuff in your inbox going, oh, I need to remember that.
192 messages.
Right. Well, I have way more than that. 4,900. It's because I never erase anything. It's
Yeah,
also
neither do we.
it's also a weird thing with Google. I don't quite know why this is, but it doesn't reduce. Like I'll erase messages and they don't reduce, and I don't know why that is, but I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. So that's why that is that way, and it's not fixed because I don't see it as a problem.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Sure.
On that, she works at her house, I work at my house.
Mm-hmm.
Can we both get on it and I save my stuff and send stuff?
Oh, you're gonna have your own email address. You are gonna have to pay per user, so you two are both gonna be a
Okay.
user, but it's still $60 a year. You know.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah. That's how it works. So your email will not be shared. So if somebody emails her something, you're not going to see it.
Right.
Yeah. Now you can do a third user and set up an info at or
I've
a
seen, yeah.
buy dance classes at. It's kind of a subtle ninja trick is to put a assumed close in your email address as a disassociated email address. It's not a person. So you can say buy dance classes at
Yeah, I've seen
your
that.
URL,
Yeah.
and then you put that on your business card.
You know what? I'm so ignorant, but I don't know what that means when you say at your URL. I mean, what would it be for us?
Business Dance Associates.
Well, that's our
.com.
name.
That's a URL. .com is your URL.
Do you have a URL?
No,
You
I
have
know
a-
what it is.
You don't have a website?
Yes, that's our
Oh,
website.
Yeah, that's your URL.
Dance Associates Austin is our website. That up at the top.
That's the
Yeah.
URL. Yeah,
Okay, sorry.
that's okay. When I first started, I had the same question.
That's
Yeah. Yeah. But you can have a non-www.
But you said you use our email. That's what I didn't understand.
What is your first name?
Karen.
Okay, so it'd be Karen at danceassociatesaustin.com. Yeah. So it's your name at yoururl.com.
Right now it's called questions at danceassociatesaustin.com.
That's too general.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So register to
Karen
dance.
doesn't either.
Well, that's you though. You want your name to be one email address, and then you want her name to be a different email address.
Yes.
Then a third email address will be like buy dance classes.
So we call it what we want them to do. We want them to
Right,
target the
right,
market.
right.
Oh,
After
Yeah,
we change
yeah.
the name.
Now you can still do info.
Rebranded.
You can still do info, but what you can do with all these is you can forward them over to your name. Okay. So now that would be a way you wouldn't have to pay Google another $5 a month because it's set up in the email for it to 301 over to the other. Okay. As when you get really busy and you have to hire an assistant, you're gonna have to put them on an email address. You want them to have their own email address.
Sure.
Okay. But you want all their emails sent in and out. I think it's best practice to have them forward over. You be CC'd or CC'd on all those. That's just tactical.
know.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if I didn't cover anything in here. Kind of a funny thing. This is how much I use Boomerang. I can put it in a slide, and I have no doubt at all that will be true because I use it every day. I use it 100 times every day.
Mhm.
So that's kind of funny. Yeah. Google Chrome. Google Chrome is a browser. Do you use it?
Mhm.
Okay, great.
Well, for my personal part, not for Dance Associates. I mean, I use Google Chrome. What do you use?
I used to use it, but I stopped.
What do you use now?
Bing. Bing is my search engine. Google Chrome, Google name is really bad. So I try to stay away from those colors of that word, but I'm trying to re-like it again because of you. But
Well,
Google Chrome
I
is,
don't-
is our main thing
so-
for a long time.
but Bing is just a search engine. It's not a browser. So what are you using as a browser?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I just go to Bing every morning, MSN.
So you're probably on Internet Explorer. You think? Maybe. Okay. Chrome is much more powerful, much more flexible, much more dynamic. They do track you, but these days everybody tracks you. That used to only be true of Google, but it's not really anymore. Google Chrome extensions are possibly the greatest thing in the history of mankind as far as technologically. And it's very underutilized and not very well known in the outside of like my world. Chrome extensions are not very well known, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to do a little demo here. I'm going to show you just how ridiculous this is.
Okay.
First of all, if you just look at my browser, let's maximize this thing so you can see all of it. So you see all this up here. These are all. Can you see my
Yes.
cursor?
Mhm.
Okay. These are all extensions. This one is an SEO tool. This one's a rank checker. This is an overall checker. This is another SEO tool I'll probably need to disable because I never use it. This is a spell checker for Chrome.
Mhm.
This is Hootsuite. If you know Hootsuite, this is Hootsuite. Social media share tool that does syndication. You can schedule posts out with it. But that's not what this is. What this is an on page. So let's see. Let's do Amazon. I was checking into this the other day. I can share this on social media from just with one click. I don't have to go to Facebook. I don't have to copy and paste. It's going to populate, if it ever does, now that I said that. It's going to populate a link and then give me a box I can talk about it. So I can talk about this Amazon Echo. This might be the greatest thing ever. And then I can send this out. See, I've got a whole list of all the accounts I manage here. So you can have if you got 5 social accounts, which you should have, you can share to each one of those, almost without exception, straight from the page you're looking at. So a really easy thing to do is if you're in a campaign, let's say you're driving. What's one dance class that you would like to sell a lot of, or one thing
Well,
that you
preschool classes.
preschool dance classes? Is that general? Or is there anything specific about it?
The location and time.
Okay. So what's a hot location for you that you would love to have a lot of?
Recreation.
The recreation centers.
All of them?
Northwest Recreation.
Target one, Northwest Rec.
Give me one.
That's it. That's what it's called.
Northwest Recreational Center.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So you build a page about it. Hey, everybody, come register for our next class, blah, blah, blah. Here it is. Everything they need to know about it. Have a testimonial on there. I did this. It was the best thing ever. My kid was so much smarter after they took this class and better looking and all that good stuff. Then sign up form, payment if you want, but a lot of times people are probably going to call you first. So the more true that is, the less often you put payment on it, because you don't want to ask for a sale that you know that people are going to want to talk to you first for. Okay, so then you share that page. A good one for me is a good example of mine is my blogging page. Should be on here. Okay, I'll give you this as a landing page. Where'd you put it? There it is. This is a problem with having too many tabs. Yes, I need help with my branding. So I can share this, and because of the way I've set it up on SEO, it's going to say, yes, I need help with my branding in the link. Now, I can ask right up here, do you need help with your sign up for a free discovery call today? That's a better call to action, today. I'll say sign up today for a free discovery call. Now, if I want to get all hashtaggy, I'm going to hashtag small business, Austin, Dallas. If I could type. Branding. 5 more characters left, so that'll work. So I'm going to go ahead and post this now. I've got my defaults. You can set your defaults so that these accounts always pop up, but then you can add others. So I'm going to share it in my ETX is Awesome account, this one, my Burner Marketing, and my Dallas account. I'm going to post now. Bing. So that goes out. Now, if I'm in a campaign, then I'm going to do that every 20 minutes on Twitter.
I have a question.
Hit me.
How do you, you're a busy guy, how do you even answer what happens after this?
Well, you have to know what stuff is going to produce. So I know that if I post this stuff out, like I did this about 3 months ago. Like I said, that's where all this came from. That's why I'm even here. I haven't done it again. So that tells you the answer. You do that, you fill your
It's
pipeline,
out there.
then you just start working your leads.
Mhm.
The busier you get, you hire
But
somebody,
you said you do it every 20 minutes. What do you do every 20 minutes?
you're posting that same thing or
Oh, the
some
same
version of it.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did that for 48 hours. And pretty much everything that we're talking about has come from that.
You did that for every 20 minutes.
On Twitter.
Because you did it on Hootsuite. You
Yeah, I scheduled
You
it.
didn't sit there and
Nope.
do it.
No, that's the thing about Hootsuite is when I pop it up, see, yeah, I posted that now. I didn't schedule it, so I'll show you the scheduling part. Don't ever do auto schedule. Their auto scheduling is awful. It's not good. So post later. So I've got the same thing, calendar, date, and time. So I can post. You post in increments of 5 minutes. If you wanted to get down into more granular than that, that's a weakness of Hootsuite, but it's not very weak. That's not a big deal, I don't think, for anybody. You can choose to email yourself when the message gets sent when you're scheduling it. I don't do that. I just trust. I just go back and check it later. Yeah, you can schedule it for whenever you want. And so I schedule it for every 20 minutes on Twitter, not on Facebook. Don't do that on Facebook. You can't treat Facebook the same way as Twitter. But on Twitter and probably Instagram, you could do something like that every 20 minutes and you're probably going to be okay. Don't do it indefinitely. Do it for a 24 or 48 hour period. And for you, you're going to be very, very much a servant to school. So if you do this a week after school starts versus the week before, your reaction is going to be completely different. I'm sure you already know that. So yeah, but that it's a very, very powerful tool. I pay for the pro version. You get more accounts with it. I don't know what you need, but even the pro version is $10 a month. For social media, it's one of the best tools out there. It's hard to beat it because of the cost.
You're speaking.
Yes. I didn't actually put it in here because I didn't want to get too deep into social media, but it's a very effective tool. But going back to Chrome extensions, what I'm using right now is this thing called Screencastify. This records your screen as you're talking. So if you had dance steps, for instance, and you know how they lay out the feet, and then there's some. That'd be a great one to do a screen capture video. So you go here, so you can have music playing under it that you want to dance to. So let's say it's a waltz, and you have the feet on there, and that's all diagrammed. You can talk the people through it. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can do that on the screen, recording yourself, and then when you hit stop, it gives you the video, and then you can upload that straight to YouTube from it, and it's free.
That's pretty cool.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And what is that called?
Screencastify. And this is awesome screenshot. You can take screenshots and send it to people. Most people don't need that, but I do. Flipboard is a social tool for news aggregation. It's okay. It's all right. You see what I'm saying though? This one's called DragDis. If you do a lot of surfing and you do a lot of investigation, looking around on stuff, DragDis is a great tool. So if I go up here and highlight this and I want to save it, I highlight it, I pull it. Once I drag it, DragDis opens up on the side, and I can go drop it in one of these folders. It's awesome. I love it.
Drag this.
DragDis.
DIS.
Yeah.
DragDis.
DragDis. Yeah. That brings up a little branding thing. So you know how QuickCar is KWIKKAR?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you think that is?
Catch
To
us
be
up.
separate.
Hmm?
To be separated itself out.
Nobody else is going to be able to get that spelling. You can't brand quick. That's a common word. I can brand KWIK. That's my word now. So it's the same concept as owning a hashtag or owning a keyword. That's what branding is. That's why brands are most of the time misspelled. Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's why DragDis is DragDis and not DragDis. The rest of these or whatever, you understand what I'm saying. Now so that probably is kind of blowing your mind a little bit right now, right? That there's this much stuff out there and it's free.
I just don't believe it's going to stay free.
It is. It absolutely is. It's what makes Google Chrome so valuable. So because of that, Google will make sure it stays free. But this will really blow your mind.
Yeah, I didn't want to get too attached to all that because I
I
was
know.
afraid they'd go, okay, now $1 for everything, each thing.
No.
$5 for each thing. Oh, how big are you? Oh, $10 for a year.
No, because where they make their money is having eyeballs on Google, and they make literally like they've probably made more than $1 trillion on ads at this point.
Yeah.
So that money is way bigger than $1 for an extension. Yeah.
I'm going to trust you.
Good, thank you. So you see all these. These are just ones I've either installed or disabled.
And what are they?
These are all extensions. These are all extensions. But check this out. This is like the Matrix. What I'm about to show you is the Matrix. So get more extensions. So when you click this, the world opens up.
Oh,
Because now these are all extensions.
Wow.
it's the App Store for extensions.
Except it's way bigger than the App Store. These are all extensions. You see how my scroll bar keeps getting smaller? So every time I scroll down, it adds more extensions.
Goes back.
And these aren't even on all of them. You go up here and you search anything you want to do online. You search right here, and it'll bring you extensions. Load by the popularity. So let's say productivity. That's a really popular one. So I'm going to go productivity. So it starts to load them by reviews or newness or something like that. And you can refilter by...
And each one of these things is something, is a service you might need.
Yep. So it's going to go apps, then extensions. So you want to search... what do you mean?
What is
Like Google Chrome.
So you go to Chrome, you go up to this little sandwich board over here. See this right here? Right there? Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
No, over here, Karen. Over to the right.
See where I just
Look-
popped up?
look,
Oh,
that means-
that's a sandwich board.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's called a sandwich board.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Because it looks like a
Sandwich. Yeah.
Wimpy. Remember
So I
Wimpy and
learned
Popeyes?
something.
Mhm.
That's what, looks like a hamburger. That's what I think of.
Okay.
Anyway. So yeah, you go here, then to more tools, to extensions, and that's what got you here. Okay. But yeah, so productivity, now you get into all these things, and you always want to look at the reviews. So what I've done is I've chosen extensions, and then it looks like it's stacking up by ratings. No, it's not. It's relatively by ratings.
You can, can't you?
Yeah. So I go over here and I pick 3 and up. People are stupid by and large. They will not rate. They will rate something. They will go, "This is great," and they rate it 3 stars. So rate 3 stars and up. So I've chosen 3 stars and up. So I'm gonna go ahead. I don't know if they restack this because I wasn't watching. So I'm just gonna search again, and it should then restack. So now you see all this stuff, right? This is what's mind blowing to me, because you look at all these. Look at the scroll bar. We still got so much further to go, and they're all 3 and up.
Are those all free?
As far as I know, I've never seen an extension that charged money. So that's what I will say. That's funny. Decreased productivity. That's probably a time wasting app. But this is what I mean. I mean, we've picked one vertical and we've narrowed it down to the most popular, and we still have hundreds. That's what I mean by like the Matrix, because it's like, I had no idea this was all out there. So what you have to do is you just have to figure out what you want to do. Again, strategy. Where do you want to go? Then start talking about how you want to get there. I want to get better at this. Let's try to get better at this one thing. And if it's productivity, try one of these for a week and then go, I'll give that a 5 out of 10. Try something else. Yes.
What I realized through all this is we are trying to do too many things with our website at once. So does that mean we need a website for each thing we're trying to do, a separate website, so that it's generating and then it'll link you back to this one if you find you might need this.
Sure. Honestly, and not because I do this for a living, I'm not pitching, but you honestly need somebody to come in and you need to talk through it.
I think you're right. I already figured that out.
Yeah.
Well, when she said that one customer, he had everything up there. He said, "Well, I want to tell everybody what we do."
It's too much.
Yeah.
We try really.
We're
We've
through
been
that.
talking about getting students, but we really don't need students from the internet. That's not what we need. We need new daycares, and we can't even find them.
And teachers.
They don't
Interesting.
even find us
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
And that is what we really need. We don't need, because when we're at the daycare, we just put a little flyer out and everybody signs up. We
Right.
don't need anybody from the world.
Right.
Then what you want is you're looking at a website as purely a sales funnel.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not saying that you need to be salesy and slimy. I'm not saying that. But
No.
what I'm saying is your website is not a catcher
Yeah.
anymore.
Right.
It's a destination.
Right.
You're sending them by your other marketing efforts. So then direct mail is big. You should be doing direct mail.
Okay, we're not doing Facebook. We're not,
No,
everything
direct
that you
mail
meant.
is not email.
No.
It's
No.
paper.
I know,
Yeah.
but
Like we always do.
but we're not doing any of that blogging.
You need to be doing email marketing. Definitely.
We're not.
We're here to learn.
Yeah. So here's a strategy. I need to name this. It's something like disconnected or disjointed marketing or something like that.
Yeah.
Because this is the way it works. So what do daycares need? What problems do they have that you might be able to? Huh?
Clients.
That's one. So the clients. How do you get clients to the daycare? Exposure. Okay. What else do they need? It's very hectic.
Workers.
Huh?
They need
Workers.
They need workers. Yeah, that's a good one. They need steady because they have a
The
decent amount of turnover. Yeah.
They need curriculum. They need intelligent people.
Yeah.
But you don't get that.
Well, what you want to do is list the top 5 problems they solve. How can you help them solve any of those problems? Because if I'm going to a daycare, going, do me a favor, do something for me. I will hang this flyer up. I'm asking you to do something for me. But if I go to them and go, look, one of the things we found is a lot of daycares. Remember Feel Felt Found? One of the things we found is a lot of daycares really need more exposure. Do you agree with that? Yeah, we really do. We try to do this and that, blah, blah, blah. This is what we've done. We've put together this kind of program. And if you'll allow us to use your logo, we're going to put your logo and your branding with our direct mail campaign. And we're going to mail your demo, your zip code that you want to draw from. And if you'll tell us any program, we'll list one program that you promote that you feel like draws good clients to you, and we'll include that. And we'll even make your name first. So we're going to go blah, blah, daycare, the number one blah, blah, blah for blah, blah, blah. And like maybe as a 45-degree divider, on-site dance lessons at blah, blah, daycare, taught by these experienced professionals with these great people. Flip the card over, got a testimonial. Best dance lessons ever. My kid's better looking and smarter. And
No, that's certainly hard.
see what I mean?
That would fill up those 15 places you were talking about.
You're doing them a favor. Nobody does this. Nobody does this. Nobody does this. Nobody thinks like this. So when you do it, number one, they're going to go, what is this? Somebody's walking in the door and bringing me clients? Yes, please. I'll have some more of that. And you're their best friend. You stand out. They're never going to forget who you are. You know, that's a strategy. So I call it disconnected marketing because you're not directly marketing yourself. In this case, you kind of are. But you're actually going to them and going, hey, let me market for you. And I'll clap my marketing onto that. And we'll both win. Yeah.
Win-win.
Yeah, there you go.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a good idea.
You're going to do direct marketing anyway. Why not get a partner? And they don't have to pay anything, but you're partnering with their idea, right?
Mhm.
So now you're not, and really, it's pretty self-serving, really, now that I think about it, because the parent doesn't want to just think about having their kid go do dance lessons. That's not, they want to think about the daycare too. So if I'm going, I get daycare and I get dance lessons in the same stop, I get more time to do all the piles of stuff that I have to do. And my kid is also getting better educated because it's a more well-rounded
Absolutely.
education. Win, 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 win. You know, yeah. So that's a way to do that. But then your website's the backup for that. And this is where a lot of people fall down. They go, we don't need SEO, so we don't need to do anything with our website. What they don't understand is people are going to now go search your website. They're going to go, well, does they have any testimonials? Nope, they don't have any testimonials on their website. So I'm not going to let my kid go to somebody that doesn't have any testimonials. But if I go right there, big bold button on the homepage, preschool dance lessons for preschool, dance lessons for toddlers, whatever your keywords are, and that's what you got to figure out, how people think about it. If there's a button there, bing, oh yeah, this is what they said on the thing. Here's the physical representation of their message, and it's the same thing on the website. You would be shocked at how few people marry their physical marketing with their website.
No, I'm not shocked.
It shocks me, man. Why are you going to put all that work into a physical piece of material and then not put anything on your website? It takes you 5 minutes. Just put a sentence on there.
Realize it, though.
right? You don't make that connection. So your website is a affirmation of the message that you've put out there. We are legit. This is who we are. This is how long we've been around. This is what we're doing. These are the satisfied people. This is why you should do it. Are you ready to buy? Give us a call.
Now, did you answer the question?
I don't
Do
know.
we need a different website for each?
No, you need a consult for that. It's impossible to answer that at this point. Yeah,
Okay, well, that's
maybe is that answer. maybe not. There's a high likelihood that you definitely need to bifurcate. It's really not more than bifurcation. Bifurcation is just two, but you definitely need like hard compartmentalization in your website to where ideas are not mixing too much. So probably definitely you need that. But again, maybe, but this is where again, it sounds a little too pitchy, but it's just the truth. That's what I bring to the table is I'm going to be able to walk you through this and go, here's where you're going to waste a lot of time. Here's where you should spend your time. And yeah, this is not as divided, or yeah, you need a different website. I'll give you an example of this. Amanda, the reason she's a client is she started her business as Coaching with Amanda. Well, she found out there's another Coaching with Amanda. Yeah. So she did Life Coach Amanda, but her business name is still Coaching with Amanda. So, yeah, get a little sunny.
I will let you shut it if you don't mind.
No, I don't. I was about to offer to do the same thing. That's perfect.
It's just this one.
Okay, yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Cool. I'm listening.
So she also has a blog called Girl Get Your Roots Done. Her question to me was, do I need to abandon one or the other? So the answer is maybe. I have to go check. I have to go look.
See what it's doing to your.
And this is what happened. This is why it's so important. And this is why you have to hire a consultant. Because at the table at Panera, I said, more than likely, you need to abandon Life Coach Amanda and do Girl Gets Your Roots Done. That's what I think I'm going to find when I go do my research. When I went and did my research, I actually found that there are many life coaches named Amanda. None of them have branded Life Coach Amanda. Believe it or not. So the way I did that is I searched keywords called bracket. I call it bracketed search. Life Coach Amanda. And when I bracketed that, nobody came up. That surprised me. And then I unbracketed it, and still nobody came up with that sentence. And so what that means is she can have it. So what I'm in the process of doing now is building out the videos to show her what she needs to do and how. And so it has changed now to that's the brand she needs to hang her. That's the peg she needs to hang all of her branding on. Because even Coaching with Amanda didn't take that hashtag or that keyword. So she can have that, and it's a good one. Life Coach Amanda sticks in your mind, right? So now what that means is what I'm advising her to do. She hasn't done it yet, but what I'm advising her to do is to make Life Coach Amanda the overall, and then to make Girl Gets Your Roots Done, because that's something that women really resonate with. That's something she learned. Make that like this standalone, kind of like a boot camp idea within the overall solar system of Life Coach Amanda. So Life Coach Amanda is the entry point, and when you're ready to step up and get serious, you come into my Girl Get Your Roots Done boot camp series. So that's what I'm coaching her to do, so to keep both entities intact. That's what I mean by a professional. She may have wasted 5 years or blown a branding opportunity. See what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what a consultant does for you.
Makes
Yeah.
sense too.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's get back to tools. Do you want to learn anything else about extensions in Chrome? Okay.
That's a lot. Got it.
It's pretty astounding, to be honest with you. It blows my mind that people put this much out there for free. It's very intimidating. I feel like I don't do enough free stuff when I see that. All right, so we're at Chrome extensions, powerful functionality for free. Blows my mind, but it's free. Hello. It does take them like half an hour to populate these things. That's the one thing I don't understand about Mac. Oh, because it crashed again. PowerPoint's been crashing. Boo, PowerPoint. I think what I'm going to do, because we're already past, good grief, it's 1:20. I'm just going to go straight through the Haiku deck, and I'm not going to put it on the page because I think it may crash again. So Haiku deck, by the way, if you ever do presentations, Haiku deck is awesome.
I do. What?
Haiku, just like a Japanese haiku. Haiku deck, it's one word. So, I wonder if I can do this. I bet I can do this. Yay! Okay, we're at Gmail. We're past Gmail, Chrome extensions. Yeah, we've already done all that. Already done all this. Email marketing. Automation is the name of the game. Email marketing is siloed, like probably no other marketing out there now. It's still the one place you could talk to only your audience. You used to be able to do this in different ways that I won't get into because they're all obsolete now. But email marketing allows you to talk to people and they're not looking at anything else. They open that email, that's the only thing they're looking at. You can't do it on Facebook, you can't do it on social media, you can't do it with SEO. So with you in particular, because SEO does you no good really, email marketing is going to be a very powerful tool for you. So what you want to do is you want to get people in the habit of using it so that they're opening the emails all the time. So then when you're pitching something, they're already opening the emails. You want to offer a lot of free, valuable content. Like I'd do a video of the month and walk through the steps like this. You want to teach your own kid how to dance? Here's how you do it. Here's the whatever. What's something you teach a toddler to do in dance?
Marching.
Marching? Yeah, because they do march well.
Or skipping. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a skip step we teach our toddlers. Improves functionality, brain coordination, all these things that prepares them for A, B, C, D, E, F type of dance. This is how you can do it for yourself. If you don't want to hire anybody to do it, this is how you can do it for yourself at home. And then you walk them through that step thing on a screen capture video, make it a video of the month. This does all kinds of stuff for you. Number one, you're giving me free stuff. Now I want to hire you. That's the way people think. It's the law of reciprocity. You give me something of value. Yeah.
We would teach a daycare something.
Yeah.
That you can do with kids.
Yeah. Of course, with that, you have to go, we're not responsible when you screw up and break a kid's leg.
That's true.
Right.
That's why you hire us. We don't break kids' legs. Put that on the front end of your website. We don't break your kids' legs. Everybody wants their legs to function. So you go free video of the month. Now you put that on your site as a blog post. Put a couple hundred words there. You don't need a lot because you're not worried about SEO. Just some brief description about what you're doing and why, and what the video does for your kids. You can use this for blah, blah, blah. It's great for daycare workers. Great for stay-at-home moms. Great for all these things, right? So now you got a blog post. Now you can post that out on social media. Then you go to Hootsuite, and in 20 minutes, you post that over the next 6 months. Just putting it out there. Now you can also do a series and go, hey, for $25, you can sign up for our series, and every week you get a video, and maybe you call them and ask them if they have any questions for a call. Just maybe you do that with 5 people on a call. You go to freeconferencecall.com. You can get 5 people on a phone call for free and walk the moms through it. Now, that sounds like probably a lot of work, but what I'm going to tell you is you're going to learn some very, very valuable stuff here you're not going to learn anywhere else. Number one is you're going to start hearing little granular things about how they work with their kids and how they think about working with their kids on dance and the problems they run into. And your mind's going to start going, ooh, I could solve that problem. I can solve that problem. I can solve that problem. Lots of stuff comes out of that. In one case, you can end up with whole online e-courses that make you a lot of money without ever touching it. Yeah. Because you've found these problems that moms have that you can help them with at home by watching a video without you ever being present. So you can sell a whole bunch of $20 courses rather than trying to still run people through the funnel of your class, which you still want to do because you like doing that person to person. But some people are never going to hire you. It's just the facts. And they might buy something else from you. Conversely, people that are busy professionals are never going to try to teach their kids at home because their time is spent doing other things at home. Okay? Email marketing is powerful. It's just powerful. So you need to get on that. It's going to be so easy for you to get people to sign up because classes, schedules, all that kind of stuff. Constant Contact, Infusionsoft, MailChimp, Aweber, these are some of the biggest players in the space, especially for B2C level marketing. There are much bigger players, but you don't know them because they're people like Enterprise, all these office buildings. They use high level trackability. You don't need any of that. That's like having a Sherman tank to, pull a wagon down to the mailbox. You need to be able to talk to your customers on a regular basis. You need to be able to track what they open and when they open it and what they click on. At first, you won't need that because you're not sophisticated enough to understand it. But later on, you do need to move to that. And that's a consideration when you start. My recommendation is MailChimp. MailChimp has the highest ceiling of free usage, but even then, there's some functionality you need you're not going to get with the free version. The nice thing is the first free version, I think, is only like $7 a month. So it's dirt cheap to start. Constant Contact is higher than that. I think they're like $20 a month. And I personally prefer MailChimp over Constant Contact. So that's my recommendation on that. I don't think you're ever going to need Infusionsoft because Infusionsoft has a high level of functionality that you just don't need. We could talk about that some other time if you have more questions about it, but I don't think you ever even will. MailChimp. It's the best thing for people new. It's fast and easy. Like I said, decent automation, probably plenty of automation, the most automation you'll ever need. It's a great transitional tool. If you do ever need something more robust, it works really well in transitioning. But a lot of them don't. Constant Contact doesn't. Does everything you need to do at this stage. Who should you pay? That's one of the biggest questions that you have to answer as a small business owner. Pay a graphic designer. Unless you're a creative and you enjoy creating graphics, figure out what you want. Sit down and have a skull session on what you want graphically. Because the more you know what you want, the less hours you're going to have to pay redos.
Right.
And you should pay for redos because graphic designers are worth their money. Pay a strategic planner. Pay for overview 1 to 3 times per year. Every year, have your strategy reviewed. It's just like going in for a doctor's visit. Look over the health of your campaign. You're just going to be blind to some things. That's just, you want that. You want that oversight. Get expert input. Again, the metaphor of the hill. I want to go there. How do I get there? That's who you pay. This is the final question. What are you planning to do? It's a powerful question. At first, it looks like, what are you planning to do? Well, we're planning to do this and that. But then you go, well, what planning are you missing? Because that means you're not planning to do that stuff. So, and then the quality of your planning determines what you're planning to do and where you're going to go. So the quality of your planning determines if you're going to ever make that hill, right? And the expert input is going to determine that. Not because it's a pitch, it's just true. I have people I pay. I have mastermind call. Tomorrow's a mastermind call. The only reason it's not paid is we each picked people that have other strength sets that we don't have. So my mastermind with her, she's essentially paying me with her time for what I can bring to the table, which for her is sales process help. And for me, it's basically building my public speaking business because I've never done it before, so I don't know how to do it. But yeah, so any questions about tools, planning?
I did have one question. And
Yeah.
still laugh at
I
me.
will not, I promise.
Bet you will.
Unless you make a joke.
What does SEO stand for?
No, that's a common question. Search engine optimization.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've heard it.
So you know what that
You
means.
just said my whole life.
Yeah,
You just
I
say
know,
it
I'm
like
sorry.
it's short. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Wait, I did have.
Go ahead.
I gotta find it. Go ahead and talk.
Yeah, so I think goals are a big deal in this. Like we said, you want to understand what is it that you're trying to achieve, because that's going to determine the steps you take, and then that's how you measure. So there's a 5-step. I didn't include it in this, but to build your strategy, deploy your strategy, measure the results. Build it, deploy it, measure the results. Then figure out what you want to change, tweak and measure. You've measured the results, but you want to tweak and measure based on what you did before. Then rinse and repeat. And that's a constant process you should be going through. You should have very clear things you're trying to achieve. Okay? I want to sign up 5 daycares in the next 3 months. And you want to attach a number to it because your brain can digest that. It cannot digest. Like for me, I shy away from numbers because I'm like, I don't know if that's what I should be planning for. But what I finally learned through some consulting on my business coach, he said, start with a number, even if it's a bad number, start with a number. It may be too low, maybe too high, but that's what you're learning.
It's somewhere.
Right. And your brain can do something with that. So again, it goes back to what are you planning to do? And that's what I mean. If you're not employing this kind of process, then you're not planning to get there. He always says, people don't plan to fail. They just fail to plan.
Yeah, I've heard that.
and then they end up failing because there's no plan. Like Yogi Berra said, if you don't know where you're going, you're probably going to get there.
Yeah. Every day.
Right? Lots of places. Go ahead.
You said WordPress site. I don't know what that is.
WordPress is a platform. I'm assuming you guys are not on WordPress.
No, I don't know what it is.
And they have there's another one, Blogger. They've got different kinds.
Blogger's a blogging platform.
Yeah.
WordPress started as a blogging platform,
Mhm.
and it evolved because what happened was, at the time that WordPress came out, the website world was very diffracted. There was all kinds of website building tools out there. There was all kinds of code, and so search engines were having a hard time categorizing websites because the code was all jumbled. It wasn't clear because that was never the point of building a website. It was always visual. So it didn't matter how you got to a pretty picture. You just wanted to get to a pretty picture. You probably remember this. That's back when Flash and dancing images and all this stuff was real popular. And so WordPress people they looked at everything and they went, all right, look, let's get past all this claptrap. Let's make a clear site that people can blog on and everything's findable.
Easy to use.
And when they did that, all the SEO people went, oh my gosh, look at this. We don't even have to build anything. All you do is put this stuff in place, configure it properly, and we've got a blog. Then people went, well, if it'll do that, let's build some more pages on it and make it a website. And then it's open source, which means anybody can work on it. You guys could go learn code tomorrow and start building WordPress themes. Anybody can work on it.
But when you type in WordPress site. Is that the words you type in to get to that, or what do you?
Well,
how do you get to
You need to pay somebody to build it.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't learning to build a WordPress site is a waste of time for you. You're gonna. This is the way I always look at it. I said this yesterday. You always look at that you're paying yourself $200 an hour. That's what your time's worth. So would you pay yourself $200 an hour to go learn that? You're probably looking at least 500 hours of learning it to learn how to do it well.
Yep.
No.
So you're going to pay somebody $100,000
Yeah.
to learn how to build a site. You can go pay somebody $1,500 to build. Yeah. That's the way I look at everything. That helps me scale stuff off my plate because I started looking at do I want to pay somebody $200 an hour to learn how to edit video, or do I want to find a video editor?
No, do it and get done.
Right.
Do it.
So then, where am I? Where am I living at that point? Sweet spot, 20%. Where I'm most powerful. Yeah. So the last thing I'll tell you is a question my golf teacher asked me the first time I took golf lessons about 15 years ago. He said, when you hit 100 golf shots, how many land where you want them to go? I said, about 5. He said, okay, now think about a professional golfer, somebody who's studied golf all their life. They do it for a living. Out of 100 shots, how many of theirs hit where they want them to go? I said, probably about 80. He said, nope, about 5.
Oh, really?
Yes. But their misses are much closer to where they aim.
Okay. Well, yeah.
And it's because they hit the sweet spot of the golf club more often than amateurs.
Mhm.
They've studied and honed their ability to always bring into motion the most powerful aspect
So
of
is
what
that a
they
good
connect
thing?
with. Absolutely.
It is. Your
Yeah.
misses, you still miss.
Well, but what is missing?
You narrowed down your miss.
Let me give you a good example for you guys.
Yeah,
My-
but you still got your 5. If you both get 5, you didn't need to be that good.
Oh, yeah. So think about it like this.
No, okay.
So if I go out, now I'm better now than I was. But let's go back to that time. I had like the king of all slices. Like slices, people that slice look at it and go, that's a slice. Because, I mean, it would leave the like universe. I couldn't play on a course that had a street to the right. Because I would put it in the street. So I was bad. So in golf, I'm going to get a little bit granular here to make it clear. So we're going to stand on a tee. We're going to hit it out to a fairway out there, right? If I hit my ball into the woods, I have to take a 2-stroke penalty to hit it back off the tee, or a 1-stroke penalty to hit it off the course. It depends on what kind of golf you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm lying 2 behind him when he's hitting his next ball. And I'm farther away from the target. He's closer to the target, and he's already at least 1 stroke ahead of me, probably 2. See what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that's what I mean. So now let's take you. If you're marketing right now, before you took this class today, you would say dance lessons for kids. And if an slick SEO guy came in, he could probably come in and sell you SEO. You would buy SEO. You would take your swing with SEO. SEO is not your sweet spot. But you would pay all this money and put your effort into it, and you're going to lose the ball. That's your miss.
I see.
An educated miss means instead of hitting, I'm going to hit in this space, and instead of hitting here, I'm going to hit here.
Gotcha.
So yeah, this isn't ideal. This isn't what I aim for, but I'm still in a good position to execute. So if we executed the strategy of we're going to go in for 78729, which is up there in McNeil Northwest. Is that close to the
That's
activity
me.
center?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
No.
you mean the zip code?
Yeah, of the activity center.
78757.
We're going to go 78757. We're going to get together with some people. We're going to talk about some things. We're going to put some money and effort into figuring out exactly what we need to say to this demo. And then we're going to build some graphics. We're going to put a direct mail campaign together. We're going to contact some individual daycares and partner with them because I want 5 daycares in the next 6 months. So I'm going to start with these 5. Hey, if we hit home runs, we get all 5. But if we fail, we get 2. That's failure. That's our miss. See? But it's a lot closer to your target than SEO would have got you.
Isn't it?
SEO is your slice. Yeah. But any other questions? I know we're super crazy late.
Yeah, I gotta go somewhere actually.
I'm sorry. That kind of stuff.
To know that.
I always think about this and I'm like, because that sounds like I have to go somewhere, anywhere, really.
No. Oh,
No. I have to teach and I have